this evil child star, chained a couple to an anchor and watched them drown. A real story. And believe me, it's extremely disturbing.
It really is. You know, we often think we can spot danger, right? That evil has a certain look.
Yeah, you expect some kind of sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what happens when the most monstrous acts are committed by people who seem completely unremarkable?
That's terrifying.
It is. And today, we're diving deep into a case that it chills you to the bone. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the biggest threats wear the most innocent masks.
Okay, so where does this story begin?
Let's start back in 1986.
Yeah.
There's this guy, Tom Hawks, ruggedly handsome, late 30s, I think.
Right.
He's kind of rebuilding his life after a divorce.
Yeah.
He's a really dedicated dad to his 2 teenage sons.
Okay.
And then he's at a local chili cook-off, of all places. And he meets Jackie.
Ah, the meet cute.
Sort of, yeah. She's 29, beautiful, single.
Hmm.
And they hit it off instantly. It felt like, fate.
Wow, so it moved fast.
Really fast. They got married pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And Jackie, she just embraced Tom's sons like they were her own.
That's lovely.
It really was. See, she couldn't have children herself because of a motorcycle accident
Yeah.
years before. So she poured all that maternal love into these boys.
Oh, wow.
And for more than 10 years, they were this incredibly tight-knit family. Just, happy.
a real family unit.
Totally.
Yeah.
But then, fast forward to 2002. The boys are grown up, moved out. The house is suddenly quiet.
The emptiness.
Right. And Tom and Jackie, they have this shared dream they've been talking about for years.
Bitches.
Buying a yacht and just living on the ocean.
Living the dream.
Exactly. But look, they weren't rich. Not at all. This dream was built on serious discipline, meticulous saving. Every spare dollar went towards it.
They worked hard for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in 2002, they do it. They sell their house, the place where they raised the boys.
Big step.
Huge. And they buy this sailboat. Not a massive luxury thing, but it was theirs. They named it the Well-Deserved,
Perfect name.
isn't it? And for 2 years, they lived that life. Sailing the Pacific, fishing, watching sunsets, cocktails on the deck. It was their paradise, hard-earned.
That sounds idyllic, honestly.
It really does. But then, life throws a curveball.
Oh.
A phone call. One of their sons is having a baby. Tom and Jackie are going to be grandparents.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
Especially for Jackie. Remember, she couldn't have her own kids. This was just pure joy for her. A new chance to be that nurturing figure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Whole new chapter.
Exactly. And it leads them to make this huge decision.
Okay.
They decide to sell the Well-Deserved, sell their dream boat, to buy a house on land near their son and the new grandbaby.
Wow. Trading one dream for another, sort of?
Pretty much. So they list the yacht, put an ad in a fishing magazine for $500,000.
Okay.
And almost immediately, this young couple responds. They offer the full amount in cash.
Cash for $500,000? That sounds a bit unusual.
It does in hindsight, yeah. But Tom and Jackie were just ecstatic, over the moon. They called their sons right away, so excited the sale was happening fast.
They must have been thrilled, finally settling near the family.
Totally. And then, just silence.
Ah.
The call stopped, the text went unanswered. That happy excitement just vanished, replaced by this, gnawing worry.
Oh, no.
Days go by, then a week. Still nothing.
Yeah.
And Tom's brother, Jim,
Yeah.
he's a retired police chief.
Okay, so he's got instincts.
He absolutely does.
Yeah.
And they are screaming at him that something is seriously wrong. He can feel it. So he drives down to Newport Beach to the marina.
What did he find?
He finds the Well-Deserved, all right.
Right.
But it's wrong. It's messy. Dock lines are loose, covers missing from the control panel, dirty towels just lying around.
That doesn't sound like Tom at all.
Not even close. Tom was meticulous, especially about his boat. This was a huge red flag. A silent alarm bell clanging away, but maybe not recognized for what it was just yet.
Anything else?
Yeah, there was a business card left on the deck. Seems small then, but it becomes important later. And then Jim gets a phone call.
From who?
A woman named Jennifer DeLeon. She says she and her husband, Skylar, bought the yacht.
The couple with the cash.
The very same. But she says she can't reach Tom or Jackie either. Needs to ask them some questions about the boat. Her story. It sounds plausible at first, but Jim, with his background, something feels off. Just a little bit wrong.
What did she tell him?
She claimed they paid the full $500,000 in cash, like a suitcase full of bills. Said she watched Tom and Jackie drive off, happy as could be.
A suitcase full of cash?
Right. She even said they needed help figuring out the boat and wanted to return some stuff Tom and Jackie had left behind. It was all designed to sound innocent, helpful even.
But Jim wasn't buying it entirely.
His suspicion was definitely growing. He makes a crucial call. He contacts Patricia, a friend who handled Tom and Jackie's finances while they were sailing.
To check on the money.
Exactly. He asks, was there a deposit? A $500,000 deposit? And Patricia's answer is, no, absolutely not. Nothing.
Oh, wow. That's the moment.
That is the moment. Jim knew. He knew right then, beyond any doubt, that something truly terrible had happened to his brother and sister-in-law.
So the police get involved, properly involved now.
Yes. The investigation launches, and the focus immediately turns to Skylar DeLeon, the husband.
And what's his story?
Initially, he's completely cooperative, comes in willingly, speaks clearly, very calm. He tells him, yeah, he got the yacht with cash he'd saved from his time as a child actor.
Child actor.
Yeah, apparently he had a small part on the Power Rangers years ago.
Okay. So plausible, maybe. Still weird, but...
Right. It's a constructed story, a facade. But then during the questioning, something shifts. Skylar pauses. He hesitates.
Story cracks.
A little. He says, well, that's not exactly how I got the money.
Oh. So what's the real story? Or his next story?
He then confesses to robbing a drug dealer years ago. Said he stole a load of cash, hid it, went to prison for something else, then dug it up when he got out.
Seriously?
Yeah. And he claimed he used that money to buy the yacht. Basically admitting to a major crime, trying to frame it as money laundering to explain the cash.
That's bizarre. Why admit that?
The detectives were stunned, but Skylar remained so cooperative, so seemingly open, even while admitting this serious crime. It was disturbing, a manipulation tactic.
And they let him go.
They did. For the moment, they didn't grasp the full depth of the horror, not yet. He played them.
Unbelievable. And Jennifer, the wife.
While Skylar's playing the helpful, if slightly criminal, witness, Jennifer's doing something else entirely. She's going public. TV appearances.
You're what?
Expressing deep concern for Tom and Jackie, saying how worried they are. Vehemently defending her husband, Skylar.
While knowing he just admitted to robbing someone? Or worse?
It was pure performance. Calculated deception to manipulate public opinion, make them look like concerned buyers caught up in a mystery.
So the police are digging deeper, though.
Oh, yeah. They go back to the notary public, the person who supposedly witnessed and notarized the boat sale documents. Under pressure. Her story completely falls apart. She breaks down. Confesses Skylar paid her cash to backdate the documents.
So she faked it.
Faked it. She admits she never even met Tom or Jackie Hawks. The entire sale, the paper trail. It was all a sham, a setup.
This gets darker and darker.
And the final awful pieces start clicking into place with another person, Alonzo McChain.
Who's he?
A former jailer. Someone Skylar knew from a previous stint in prison.
Okay.
Initially, McChain backs up Skylar's lies. But when the police tell him the notary confessed that the sale was fake, he crumbles too.
What did he reveal?
He reveals Skylar's real plan. Skylar hadn't just wanted to buy the boat. He told McChain he was a hitman.
A hitman? Seriously?
Yeah, and he offered McChain $1 million to help him eliminate Tom and Jackie Hawks.
Oh my God. Eliminate them.
Yes. The yacht sale wasn't a sale. It was bait. A meticulously planned trap, lured with cash, and the ultimate goal was murder.
So November 15th, 2004, that's the day.
That's the day. Skylar, Alonzo McChain, and a third man they recruited, John Kennedy, meet Tom and Jackie at the marina to supposedly finalize the deal and take the boat for a test run.
And Tom, you said he had a background as a probation officer.
Yeah, Tom had worked in probation. He had good instincts, a sense for trouble.
Oh.
And reportedly, he did feel wary that day. Something felt off to him.
His gut was telling him something.
It seems so. But Skylar, he was a master manipulator. Sensing Tom's hesitation, he makes this incredibly cynical move.
What does he do?
He calls Jennifer, his wife. She arrives a few minutes later, holding their baby daughter.
Oh no, the baby.
Exactly. The sight of this innocent baby, it immediately disarmed Jackie. Her maternal instincts just kicked right in. Any doubts she might have had probably melted away.
And Tom saw Jackie relax.
And he relaxed his guard too. It worked perfectly. They boarded the well-deserved for that test sale.
And Jennifer.
Jennifer stayed behind. On the dock. Watching them sail away. A knowing participant.
So they're out on the water now. Isolated.
Completely. And once they're far enough out, the plan snaps into action. Skylar and Kennedy lure Tom below deck, maybe saying they need to check the engine or something.
How'd he text?
Yeah. Alonzo McChain stays up top with Jackie. Then, sounds from below. A struggle, maybe a cry, a thud.
Oh, God.
Alonzo quickly grabs Jackie, handcuffs her. She must have been terrified, confused.
And then...
And they drag her below deck, into the small cabin, and she sees Tom. He's bound. He's bleeding.
Horrifying.
She apparently pleaded with him. According to McChain's testimony later, she cried out, "Why are you doing this? We just met your baby."
That's heartbreaking.
It's met with pure coldness. They brutally silence her, taping her mouth and eyes shut. Then they do the same to Tom. Blindfolded, gagged, helpless.
It's pure terror.
Unimaginable. While this is happening, Skylar is steering the boat further out, deeper into the ocean. Maximum isolation.
What happens next? It gets worse, doesn't it?
It does. Then comes this chillingly bureaucratic evil. They force Tom and Jackie, under duress, bound and blindfolded, to sign documents.
What kind of documents?
Fake bills of sale for the boat.
Yeah.
Power of attorney forms giving Skylar access to their bank accounts.
Signing away their lives, essentially.
Literally. But Jackie,
Yeah.
even in that terror,
Yeah.
she does something. A tiny act of defiance.
What?
When she signs her name, she deliberately misspells it. Maybe hoping, praying. Someone would notice later that something was desperately wrong.
Last little message. Wow.
Yeah. Then, they're led to the back of the boat. The stern, Alonzo brings the anchor. It's a heavy boat anchor.
Yo.
Skylar chains them together back to back with handcuffs.
Yeah.
And then he chains them to the bitter end of the anchor chain.
Oh, God. No.
You can imagine the sound, the clinking of the heavy chain being paid out over the side. Clink, clink. The weight starts pulling them.
Towards the water.
Yes, pulling them towards the edge. McChain testified. Jackie's head hit the railing as they went over. And then they were gone.
Pulled under.
Pulled under. Dragged down thousands of feet into the cold, dark Pacific Ocean. Alive. Aware. Drowning.
I can't even.
And Skylar, his reaction, as they disappeared beneath the waves.
What did he do?
He laughed, like a child who just got away with something.
Yeah.
A joyful sound, apparently. Utterly chilling. Jennifer, back on shore, reportedly called his phone around then, offering support. They were in it together.
The callousness it's unbelievable.
It really is. And then there's the video camera.
What video camera?
Investigators found Tom and Jackie's own video camera later at the DeLeon's house. The last footage on it, it's just gut-wrenching.
What does it show?
It shows Jackie on the deck of the Well-Deserved, probably earlier that day or the day before, smiling, waving, maybe saying goodbye to someone on shore, happy.
And then?
Then it cuts abruptly. The next footage is Skylar and Jennifer playing with her baby daughter on Thanksgiving Day, just days after the murders, laughing.
Oh my God, that's erasing them.
No.
Celebrating over their graves.
It's the ultimate act of dehumanization. Utterly callous. The evidence against them all was overwhelming, naturally. Arrests followed quickly.
And McChain testified.
He did. Faced with his own charges, he made a deal. Testified against Skylar, Jennifer, and Kennedy, recounting every single horrific detail of that day on the water.
What were the outcomes?
In court, Alonzo McChain, for his cooperation, received a sentence of 20 years. Jennifer DeLeon, life in prison without the possibility of parole.
And Skylar.
And Kennedy. Both Skylar DeLeon and John Kennedy were convicted of murder with special circumstances. Both received the death penalty.
It's just such a disturbing case. The cruelty, the planning.
The calm calculation,
Yeah.
using their own baby as bait. The laughter.
And Tom and Jackie, their bodies were never found, were they?
Never recovered. Lost to the Pacific. It's a terrifying reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most dangerous predators. They don't always come with claws or fangs.
No. Sometimes they smile. Sometimes they say thank you.
And sometimes they hand you a suitcase full of cash right before pushing you overboard.
Let's try to unpack Skylar's psychology a bit. What drives someone to do something like this?
Killer analysis. Well, obviously we can only speculate based on the actions, but Skylar DeLeon's behavior screams deep psychological disturbance. You see this capacity for extreme, calculated violence, combined with what appears to be a complete lack of remorse. The manipulation using his own child, it points towards traits often associated with psychopathy.
Like a total lack of empathy.
Yeah, exactly. A profound lack of empathy. A terrifying sense of entitlement. Like Tom and Jackie's lives, their dreams were just obstacles to his own desires. That reaction, the reported laughter after they drowned, it suggests a severe disconnect from the value of human life, maybe even finding pleasure in the act of control and destruction.
Do we know anything about his background beyond the Power Rangers thing? Any trauma?
The details are murky, but you have to wonder, did that brief, transient fame as a child actor play a role? Did it create unrealistic expectations or maybe deep-seated resentment? Were there other traumas? It's hard to say definitively, but it raises serious questions about whether early warning signs were missed or just misinterpreted along the way. His transformation into this cold-blooded killer is just a horrifying example of how evil can hide behind a very ordinary, even seemingly cooperative face.
It really makes you think. Which brings us to our reflection questions for you, the listener.
Reflection questions. First, thinking back. What were those subtle moments, those maybe missed red flags, where Tom and Jackie's trust was exploited? And why do you think their own dreams, wanting the boat, them wanting to be near family, might have made them overlook those gut feelings?
Second, how did Skylar and Jennifer manage to be so effective? How did they manipulate the basic kindness and, the good nature of Tom and Jackie to lure them into that trap?
And finally, what does this whole horrifying story tell us about trusting our instincts, about vigilance, even in what seem like normal everyday interactions, especially when things feel just a little bit off?
Some heavy questions to ponder after a deeply disturbing case.
Absolutely. If this story haunted you, make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube.